HBO's adaptation of The Last of Us has seen quite the success for Season 1, which in the world of adapting video games to films is impressive, but also opens the door for deeper scrutiny. Before I begin, I want to briefly go over how this video will be formatted. I will be following the storyline given in the show's depiction of the game's prologue and highlighting the various story changes, noting the differing storytelling methods, while also briefly touching on similar and different camera angles used in the two mediums. After finishing the broad stroke content changes, I will then give a deeper analysis and my thoughts on the changes and their effectiveness. This video serves as a potential precursor to a larger video project that will analyze every episode of the season, and if it wasn't already apparent, there will be major spoilers for Season 1 of the show and Part 1 of the game. The first major change in this episode happens right out the gate. Compared to the game, the show expands a lot more on the scientific background while also expanding on the character of Sarah, Joel's daughter. The show opens up with a talk show in 1968, where two scientists discuss the possibility of a global pandemic, mentioning the threat a fungal infection may pose due to the lack of preventative treatments or cures. One of them argues that that would be impossible, as fungi could not survive at the temperatures of the human body, but the other speculates that as the world gets warmer, fungi could evolve to overcome this limitation, which for humans means
we lose.
Then, it cuts to the show's intro.
We'll be back.
The game's intro is quite different. While maintaining a similar visual theme, the show's intro only has music, while the game's cuts in chaotic radio soundbites that deliver similar impact to the show's opening sequence about the spread of the fungal infection.
A leaked report from the World Health Organization showed that the latest vaccination tests have failed.
The game also uses the intro/title sequence as a form of pacing to slow down for the viewer following Joel's loss of Sarah. The show instead uses it to set up a feeling of impending doom after the heavily foreshadowed pandemic, compared to the game, where we have just witnessed the catastrophic events of the prologue. Continuing with the timeline of the show, we are then flash-forwarded to 2003 in Austin, Texas, introducing the character of Sarah. We begin with her morning with Joel and Tommy. They have breakfast, Joel's birthday and work is discussed, and Jakarta, Indonesia also gets name-dropped. She goes to school, fixes Joel's watch for his birthday, goes to the neighbors to bake cookies, then goes home. We then arrive at where the game first starts. Joel gets home late at night, it's still the night of his birthday, to Sarah watching TV. In the game, Joel gets home and his phone call with Tommy wakes Sarah up. Minute change, nothing crazy. Sarah gives him his present and roughly the same lines are delivered.
You like it?
Honey, it's
What?
nice, but I think it's stuck. It's not.
What? No. Oh, ha ha.
Fix it for you.
Did you?
What?
I don't hear anything.
That was lame. You're lame.
Yeah, I know.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
Where'd you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
It's better when I do.
Maybe a bit fan servicey, but I liked it here. It fits for both mediums. They then fall asleep on the couch until Joel gets a call from Tommy saying he needs to be bailed out of jail, and Joel subsequently carries Sarah to bed and tucks her in. Sarah then wakes up to explosions and helicopters. In the game, Sarah wakes up to Tommy's frantic phone call. We then follow Sarah over to the neighbor's house as she leads the dog back, only for the dog to run, and for Sarah to soon make the discovery of what is happening. The game instead only follows Sarah downstairs, bringing us to Joel after hearing the whimper of a dog outside.
There you are.
Sarah, are you okay?
Yeah?
Has anyone come in here?
No, who would come in here?
Don't go near the doors. Just stand back there.
Dad, you're kind of freaking me out. What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something ain't right with them. I think they're sick.
What kind of sick?
Jeez. Jimmy!
Dad?
Honey, come here. Jimmy! Stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you!
Joel then kills the neighbor, and Sarah says,
You shot him.
Sarah,
I saw him this morning.
listen to me.
back to the show, Sarah finds the neighbor and is chased out of the house to be saved by Joel, reacting similarly.
You killed her.
The danger as they get into the truck is much more immediate than in the game, as the freshly infected Adlers are now out on the street. They rush off, and the majority of their time in the truck is mirrored almost exactly with what happens in the game, only switching the order of some of the lines and events.
You take 71.
71. No getting into Travis County.
We need to get the hell out. Take 71.
71, that's where I'm headed.
Stay
Daddy,
We don't know.
They're saying it's a virus, some kind of parasite.
is it from terrorists?
We don't know.
Did they say how many are dead?
Probably a lot. They found this one family all mangled inside their
Tommy.
house. Right. Sorry. No cell phone, no radio. A minute ago, newsman wouldn't shut up. No cell phone, no radio. Yeah, we're doing great. A minute ago, newsman wouldn't shut up.
Are we sick?
No, of course not.
Are we sick?
No, of course not.
How do you know?
What?
How do you know we're not sick?
They're saying it's mostly people in the city. That's why they got the highway blocked off.
How do you know?
They said it's just people in the city. We're good. God. It's Jimmy's place. Holy hell. That's Lewis's farm.
The Adlers would take Nana into the city. To the hospital for stuff.
That's right. They would. That's probably why.
We're good.
Didn't Jimmy work in the city?
That's right, he did. We're fine, trust me.
All right.
What are you doing?
Got a kid, Joe.
So do we. Keep driving.
We could put them in the back.
Somebody else will come along.
See what they need.
Who do you think you're doing? Keep driving.
I got a kid, Joel.
So do we.
But we have room.
Keep driving, Tommy. You ain't seen what I seen. Someone else will come along.
You should have helped him.
Fuck! Everybody had the same fucking idea.
Can't get through this. All right. Let's think it through. We'll think it through.
Fuck! Oh, this is bad. Everyone and their mother had the same damn idea.
The game transitions perspectives through a car crash, which the show uses to bait people who play the game.
All right, keep going. Keep going.
The show elects to go for a grander transition with a plane crash, and debris ends up being the transition for the perspective change away from strictly Sarah's point of view. The story from here in essence remains the same, except Tommy ends up splitting from Joel and Sarah right after the crash, telling them to meet by the river.
Head to the river, I'll find a way. Get her out of here, Joel, go!
Compared to the game where he is right by them for a couple of minutes and only stays behind to allow for Joel and Sarah to get away, as he can outrun the infected chasing them.
Get to the highway! What? Go! You got Sarah! I can outrun him!
Uncle Tommy?
I will meet you there! Hurry!
Continuing with the show's storyline, shortly after the split, they end up coming across a bunch of infected and their victims on the ground. One of them notices their presence and begins to chase, crashing violently through the diner in pursuit of Joel and Sarah. Just as they are about to be caught, a soldier shoots at the infected and orders them to stop.
It's okay, baby.
You're safe.
Don't move!
My daughter's hurt. Her ankle.
Stop right there!
The game doesn't have such a fast-paced chase, but the soldier saves them the same.
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey! We need help! Stop! Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken. Stop right there!
A pretty big difference comes in the soldier's verbal response to his orders. In the show, he responds simply,
Easy now. We're not sick.
I got 2 civilians by the river, one of them injured. Ankle. I'm sorry, repeat. Hey, no one told you to move. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
while in the game, his responses are more hesitant.
We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians in the outer perimeter. Please advise. Sir, there's a little girl. But... yes, sir.
And lastly, the death of Sarah plays out almost identically to the game.
Shit.
Sir, we are not sick!
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Please don't.
Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know.
No. No, no, no. Okay. You're okay. You're okay. Move your hand, baby. Move your hand.
Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts.
I know, baby. I know. I know it hurts. All right. Damn. Come on, baby. You're okay. I know, baby. I know. I know this hurts. You're gonna be okay. All right. Baby, listen to me. I gotta get you up, okay? I gotta get you up.
Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this, baby.
All right? You come on. I know, baby. No, I know.
Tommy, help me!
Joe. Come on, baby girl. I gotta get you up. Come on, baby girl. Come on.
The only minor change here is that he cries out to Tommy for help. The performance is overall just as powerful. Something to note about the show's introduction is the mention of how a particular fungus, cordyceps, takes control of ants.
Replacing the ant's flesh with its own.
In later episodes, we are shown the skin of the infected being cut to reveal fungus beneath the skin's surface. This attention paid to the infection highlights the difference in scope from the show to the game. It feels as though the show is leaning more into the zombie apocalypse theme compared to the game's focus on relationships, while only touching on the details of the infected. And more generally, horror seems to be the broader aim of the show's first episode, especially for the first 30 minutes during the prologue, looking at events like the ominous background twitches of the old neighbor, the smear of blood on the floor we see later, and the fungus protruding from her mouth, as well as other examples. All of these extra things the show is focusing on speaks to the differences in mediums through which the story is told. The TV show is not held back nearly as much in visual storytelling potential as the game was. Because it was an interactive medium, the closest thing to scientific lore behind the cordyceps plague early on was established in the title sequence for the game. However, the choice to establish the science before the character of Sarah and her relationship with Joel, in my opinion, possibly sets a different precedent for the story, holding a much different power over the prologue that the game held for jumping right into the characters of the story and Joel's loss of Sarah. The intro is still a relatively strong one for both mediums though, don't get me wrong. It's just that regarding the translation from interactive game to passive television, the two forms are different, and I can appreciate both of them. While I do believe the cold open of the show is strong and serves well in establishing more background on the infection and sets the stage for the chaos we will watch unfold, I believe the game is equally, if not more strong in throwing us as the player/viewer immediately into the shoes of the character. Playing as Sarah in the game makes it feel more like we are Sarah, scared in the world as it collapses around us. The show is able to mimic the viewer's perspective of Sarah, not just through following her going about her day, but also through deliberate camera work, like her perspective from the back of the truck being filled with a handheld camera. With the context of the cold open looming in the back of our minds, the feeling is different, as we kind of sort of know what's playing out. The only clues we are given in the game are through various artifacts we check out through the game mechanic, as well as some stuff in the environment which is all technically missable, but goes to show that that's what's good about the passive medium of television. You can't accidentally walk by some information. You only miss what you don't pay attention to. In the show, it's less of a mysterious horror and more of a realized one, albeit still scary and delivering a similar level of horror. Part of this unveiling of mystery during the game's prologue was also done away with through seemingly subtle story changes. When Joel gets up to put Sarah to bed, he does so because Tommy called and needs to be bailed out of jail. Heartfelt music is not played like it is in the game, where Joel carries Sarah to bed seemingly naturally because it is late. Instead, the absence of music, a dog barking in the background, and wind chimes ringing build tension as she is laid in her bed. Instead of Sarah waking up to Tommy's phone call, clearly panicked trying to get a hold of Joel.
Hello?
Sarah, honey, I need to get your daddy on the phone.
Uncle Tommy, what time is it?
I need to talk to your dad now. There's something...
Uncle Tommy? Hello?
Sarah wakes up to the sounds of explosions, helicopters, and sirens. In the game, when Sarah wakes up, we know just as little as Sarah knows. However, the show at this point has already set us up as the viewer with the twitching classmate being rushed out of the shop, the neighbor twitching behind Sarah, the dog staring at her before she leaves, as well as Tommy's comment,
"It's a fucking madhouse, Joel. I gotta get out."
It's a logical change, easily justified by the expanded background we were given of Sarah as a character, and also what we learned of the infection during the episode's cold open. We got to see more of the relationship play out before everything went to shit, thus bonding us, the viewer, adequately. But in the game, the short cutscenes shown before we are given control of Sarah had to be more intimate to establish that stronger connection. Of course, the later moments of Joel and Sarah during the chaos further reinforce that connection in both mediums, but both forms of Sarah's introduction function well while opening differently. Adding on, Joel killing the neighbor feels a little different the moment he does it in the show, because in the game, the neighbor isn't more than just Jimmy until Sarah says this,
I saw him this morning.
evoking the feeling we needed in the game to establish that humanity. That humanity was already partially established through Sarah's perspective of the day she spent involving the neighbor. Tommy being present also adds pressure to this scene,
Joel, we gotta go.
making it slightly less of a Joel-Sarah moment and more of a harrowing actualization for Sarah, and more importantly, the audience. Sarah is still shocked the same in both mediums, only omitting the line, "I saw him this morning," for obvious reasons. The pacing just before and during their time spent in the truck additionally provides for different deliveries of the reactions of the characters to their environment. In the game, there being no immediately visible danger after killing the neighbor allows for the player to still have some time to breathe with Sarah's shock and stress, allowing a detail like this
Are we sick?
No, of course not.
to make its way through the screen with a calmer impact. In the show, essentially the same line used at a different time in the conversation, all while happening at a much faster pace, followed by a shot of Sarah's clear distress after the fact, makes for a more stress-inducing impact. But ultimately, it creates a similar tension and effect for the viewer. We're not controlling Sarah in the show, so it makes sense for the pace to be faster in order to keep the viewer effectively engaged. I want to mention how much I like the bait of the car crash here in the show. It's a fun thing to notice for game fans, while also providing a more flashy plane explosion to transition perspectives instead. At the end of the day, it was the same thing done in a different way. But moving on, after the car crashes, the more significant difference of Tommy splitting off much earlier in the show is a very solid change, as when Joel begins to carry Sarah after the crash in the game, Tommy's pretty much only there to guide you, the player, through the chaos of the streets. The show doesn't need Tommy to guide Joel, and so the majority of the sequence where Joel carries Sarah in the game was reasonably cut in the show. The one change I think was overall negative was this change to the soldier's dialogue/behavior.
Easy now. We're not sick.
I got 2 civilians by the river, one of them injured. Ankle.
What about Uncle Tommy?
We're gonna get you somewhere safe first. Then we'll go back for him, okay? Okay.
I'm sorry, repeat. Hey, no one told you to move. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the game, it was clear that the soldier grappled with conflicting emotions with the orders he was given.
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Sure, in the end, both the show and the game versions of the soldier are just people following orders, but the soldier's cold demeanor diminishes the depth of the moment. As the viewer, we have no self-conflict with sympathizing with the soldier in the show like it feels in the game, because the soldier in the show simply continues to reply with the same robotic
Yes, sir.
response. It's dry and shallow. I can understand that that may have been a goal with this change, given how it was added that when caught by the guards while escaping with Ellie and Tess, Joel gets flashbacks and is reminded of the moment he lost Sarah to the soldier shining the light in his face, and so unleashes his rage on the Fedra agent who also happens to seem as heartless as the soldier. Maybe a little worse. It's a trade-off that adds complexity to Joel's character, but weakens a crucial moment in the prologue. In my opinion, this change wasn't entirely worthwhile. Regardless, the adaptation of the prologue as a whole was positive, setting high expectations for the rest of the season as well as Season 2. While making some minor changes can often be trivial, some can have significant impact. But overall, the changes made in the adaptation of the story's prologue maintain the essence of the story, while more importantly expanding on and taking advantage of the passive medium of television. All of the additions fit the narrative of the show, making it an effective adaptation. Looking to the future of videos on this channel, I plan on at least attempting to analyze the rest of Season 1 of the show before Season 2 premieres in 2025. So make sure to subscribe and be on the lookout for notifications, especially as Season 2 approaches. Thanks for watching, and please do leave any feedback or thoughts below in the comments.